Have you ever wondered if the speed you have right now is the one that you're going to be stuck with for the rest of your life? Ever wonder if your genetics are the ceiling of your sprint career? Like, what if I told you, the biggest lie in sprinting is that speed is mostly genetics? Your genetic blueprint is not your prison, and most people are nowhere near their genetic ceiling, right? And they just use that as almost a cop out for why they aren't improving. And today I'm going to break down exactly how genetics influence speed and the tactical steps you can take today that you can pull way more out of your performance and out of your body than you thought you were just naturally born with. So we're going to cover what genetics actually predict, what they don't predict, and how to find your real genetic ceiling as a sprinter and how to train your hardware, right? Everyone has a different hardware at the highest scientific level and how to unlock that neural speed that your genes didn't give you. And this video is going to show you exactly how fast you can become. So let's begin. My name is Lawrence Ella Johnson. I'm a professional sprinter, multiple time NCAA All-American. And this past year, I placed ninth at the USA Championships and ran my first win-aided sub-10 performance in my career. And every single athlete I coach on a one-to-one basis has set a new PR either on the track or one of our speed testing metrics so results don't lie. Let's get into it. The genetic blueprint, right? Your true speed ceiling. Number one is actin 3, right? This is the fast twitch gene. The most misunderstood idea in sprinting is that most sprinters know about the actin 3 gene, right? And here's the truth in 20 seconds. You're either naturally stronger with fast twitch expression. This is like too sciencey for most of you guys, but here's the truth. Your RR/RX equals naturally strong and fast twitch expression. Your XX equals naturally slower fast twitch expression, but this is where everyone gets it wrong. Actin 3 doesn't determine elite speed. It determines how easily you can express it, meaning that you can be elite with a slow genotype. You can be mid with a fast genotype. It's not the gene, it's the training that makes it show up. And I can't say this enough. Your genetics influence potential, but your training determines your performance. So that leads into number two, right? The natural talent is just better. Hardware, right? But hardware can be upgraded. Some athletes are born with longer Achilles tendons, stiffer tendons, higher neural drive, better limb ratios, naturally elastic recoil. That makes expressing force easier, but here's the key. Most naturally gifted athletes only live at 40 to 60% of their ceiling. Meanwhile, the athlete with average genetics but elite training and elite habits, they pass the genetically gifted every single time. Now I'm going to break the three biggest myths about genetics. Number one is you're either born fast or you're not. That's like completely false, right? That's like a coach just lying to an athlete because he doesn't have the system. So your neural training, right? Your tendon development and mechanics can add zero point 0.3 to 0.8 seconds in some cases. And myth number two is your genetics determine 90% of your speed. This is all unbelievably false because science put it around 40 to 50%. And myth number three is that fast twitch can't be developed. Like, oh my goodness, that's so false. Neural drive, tendon stiffness, and contraction rate are highly trainable. Your genetics are not your prison. They're really just your raw material, right? I want you to think of it as like an alchemist. And this is what gets me excited the most, right? It's like receiving a car, right? And you're looking underneath the hood. You look, okay, it's got a V12 engine. Okay, what type of oil does it use? Okay, let me go look at the combustion engine. All of this, I don't know too many car terms, but you're looking underneath the hood, putting new spark plugs in it, seeing how it drives, how does it react on the corners, what happened if we change the weight in the front of the car, the weight in the back of the car. That should excite a coach. And most coaches just stick with their same template for each sprinter, and if it doesn't work for them, it's their genetics. But most sprinters aren't limited by genetics, right? They're limited because they're underdeveloped from underdeveloped systems. And their real bottlenecks are either their weak acceleration mechanics, low stiffness, bad block habits, poor front side efficiency, and slow neural firing or inconsistent rhythm, or tightness from overthinking, poor recovery, or no structured progression. And honestly, not enough true speed exposure. So your DNA isn't the problem, your development is. And that is the true gap between what you run versus what you're capable of. So if you run 11.2 right now, your genetic ceiling might not even be 10.9. It might not even be 10.7. It might not even be 10.5. It might not even be 10.3. It may be even faster. So I want you to ask yourself, why aren't you there? Because you never trained long enough, smart enough, or consistently enough with the right approach to find your ceiling, because your genes set the ceiling, but your habits determine how close you get there. And number two is your neural speed. This is the hidden variable, right? That beats genetics most of the time, right? Your nervous system controls stride length, timing, hip oscillation, stiffness, ground contact, coordination, and elastic return. But neural adaptations can turn an 11.6 guy into an 11.0 guy, an 11.0 guy into a 10.5 guy. And this is why athletes make these huge jumps in my training group from 11.6 to 11.0, 11.0 to 10.6, and even 10.7 to 10.3, because their DNA just didn't just change, right? Another day, a guy commented on one of our testimonial videos. He was like, "We need to see official results." Like, bro, all our results are official. Right? That's the attitude a lot of people have. And instead of asking the how, they jump into the tearing down, right? And that's not what I'm trying to do here, right? Because technique is the most trainable thing, right? Because, genetic advantage, no one is born with clean thigh exchange. Like, no one's born with front side domination, right? No one's born with elite transition mechanics. No one's born with efficient arm swings, but these are skills, right? That can give you the biggest genetic boost of all, because technique ultimately will always beat talent, and talent and technique will always beat genetics. So this is what I want you to think about now. This is where the tactical work actually begins. Number one, you need to do explosive strength training. This is the direct line to fast twitch output. So if you want to maximize what your DNA gave you, you need to prioritize plyometrics, Olympic lifts, trap bar jumps, depth jumps, bound series, hill accelerations, short to 10 to 20 meter sprints, because these build higher tendon stiffness, faster contraction rates, increase spring mass model efficiency, right? More vertical force and horizontal force give and better neural firing, because genetics give you the fibers, but training teaches them how to behave. And number two is mechanical mastery, your most important genetic multiplier. To express speed, you must fix projection angles, posture under pressure, arm mechanics, hip height, ground contact quality, front side mechanics, and rhythm at max velocity. These are all trainable. And the difference between a guy who runs 11.2 and 10.5 is really those things, because genetics don't limit this, skill does. Number three is recovery, nutrition, and sleep. This is truly the hidden gatekeepers of speed, and most of you guys will not follow a single one of these things long enough to realize that you can beat 99% of the people by just doing one of these things right. So you're either underfed, under-recovered, underslept, or overstressed. Your speed will always reflect your recovery. So to unlock your true ceiling, right, you probably need to do less than more. So sleep 8 to 9 hours. Eat enough carbs, right, to fuel central nervous system work. I had an athlete who joined our group. He was a master's athlete, and he said he was doing keto. And the next question I asked was like, well, how'd the season go? Right. And then I guess you guys can answer that question. Right. But now he's already seeing PRs within 3 weeks. And it's, 3 weeks is tremendous time to see PRs, especially when you're an older athlete and you have a training age of like 30 years, right? To be PRing after a 30-year training age in 3 weeks is crazy. And it's not like he just magically had new genetics, right? These are the things that I'm talking about. Right? You can reduce chronic inflammation. You need to track your HRV and your fatigue. Your body cannot produce elite speed in survival mode. And this is number four, right? This is going to be your personalized speed blueprint, because your genetics don't determine your training plan, right? your profile does. So step one, I want you to run a full speed audit. You need data from your 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, flying tens, hip height, and a video of your acceleration, your vertical jump, your RSI, strength ratios, and your elasticity test, because your genetics don't matter until we know what your limiter is. And number two, you need to identify your biggest bottleneck. So your limit is almost always one of these: weak projection, low stiffness, slow thigh exchange, poor acceleration timing, weak hamstrings, slow neural activation, bad posture, tightness from fear or hesitation, right? And you need to fix this, and your entire speed system will jump. And number three is train based off your genetic profile. And here's a tactical breakdown. If you're naturally explosive, you need rhythm, reps, speed, and speed endurance, right? So if you're naturally endurance based, you need more max velocity exposure, because if you're naturally elastic, you will then need more strength and rigidity. So if you're naturally strong, you need more elasticity and relaxation, because most athletes will just train against their profile. And the smartest athletes are the athletes who train to maximize their profile. And step four is you need to commit to long term, right? This is where genetics really ultimately stop mattering, because genetic ceilings aren't just unlocked in 6 weeks, right? They're unlocked in 3 to 4 years of consistent speed exposure, technical refinement, progressive overload, smart recovery, stable environment, minimal injuries, high quality reps, and high performance habits. So the genetically gifted will fall off, but the committed will ultimately surpass everyone. And this is the real truth, guys. Your genetics are not your limitation. They're honestly your starting point. And if you're being honest, you're probably nowhere near your ceiling. You have at least 2 tenths, 4 tenths, or 6 tenths, and maybe even some cases, right, 1 second and greater from shifting your speed inside of your body. And you're waiting for better systems, right, or better mechanics and a better you to pull it out, because your speed is not predetermined, right? Your speed is developed. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe, because we will post another video within the next 48 hours. Also, if you want to get faster for free, what you can do is be like the 1% of athletes who actually get better and join my free community called Sprint University, where there's a group of sprinters all trained together for free. I'll see you guys in the next video.